I almost want to say something like, "Good morning, Vietnam," but that's already been done. So anyway, Steve McDonald from GraniteGrok.com and Grok Media LLC with another morning update. It is Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, and the vaccine industry is having a really rough month. Last week or the week before, research came out proving that if you took the flu vaccine, you were 30% more likely to get the flu, 27% to be precise. I wrote about it. It's probably publishing today sometime, so you can check that out if you want to see some links to that detail. But we have another one that broke just a couple days ago. A landmark population-based study published by BMC Infectious Disease has shattered the rationale for current pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, and the outcome is it's flabbergasting. The entire industry is like, oh my God. Analyzing outcomes among 2,234,003 adults aged 50 and older in Catalonia, Spain, the authors found that recipients of both PCV13 and PPSV23 were significantly more likely to be hospitalized for pneumonia and more likely to die from pneumonia-related causes compared to their unvaccinated counterparts, even after adjusting for age, sex, comorbidities, and influenza vaccination status. Keep in mind, these are vaccines that are sold, marketed, and pushed on people because they help prevent pneumonia. That doesn't sound like it's really working out the way it should, does it? The authors conclude that their findings raise serious concerns about effectiveness and public health impact of adult pneumococcal vaccination programs. Gee, you think? Well, let's see. Over at Vaccine News, which has shared all these fine details, which you'd be surprised, right? The implications of this research extend beyond a single class of vaccines. It strikes at the heart of the mandate debate. If the vaccines recommended for the most vulnerable population show no measurable benefit on critical outcomes like hospitalizations and death, and maybe even cause harm, what is the ethical and scientific justification for their compulsory use? I don't know. I feel like we've been saying that for 5 years now. The study forces a re-examination of the complex interplay between public health policy, pharmaceutical promotion, and the actual evidence of clinical benefit. It underscores the critical importance of continuous, independent, post-market surveillance, free from commercial and institutional bias, to ensure that public health interventions are doing more good than harm. I know a lot of bad things came out of COVID. We learned a lot of good things, too, like who all the tyrants and despots are, and that's always useful, especially in future elections. Not that it's had enough of a political impact. A lot of these people are still in office. They shouldn't be. So, COVID, as bad as it was, opened a can of worms, a lot of them. It opened a free speech can of worms. It opened a medical industrial complex can of worms. It opened research into vaccines and detailed research. And now we know that we've been fed lies for many, many years, and human beings are being harmed in large-scale numbers. Take a look at this graph that we found attached to this research. Compared to people who didn't get the vaccine, if you got it, you had an 83% risk of getting pneumonia. You had a 55% increased risk of all-cause pneumonia, and you had a 91% increased risk of death. Wow. Bad week for the vaccine industry, isn't it? So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more research like this, and that's a good thing, because there may very well be better cures, but people have been leaning on these things and not really reporting the facts. And I think we learned that very much so during COVID, when everybody was on board with the bullshit and a lot of people suffered and died. They were unnecessary. They shouldn't have happened. But I think this is the silver lining, and I hope it is. I hope that people realize, and this isn't a dig on all vaccines. I mean, there may be some out there that actually do some good, but I feel pretty certain that the pharmaceutical industry stopped caring about that quite a while ago, and it took COVID for us to realize that's what they were all about. All right, that's it. Happy news for a Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Don't forget to check out Justice for All with Jocelyn tonight, our podcast on Wednesday every week. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.